If you're looking for a sense of ease and that relaxed and effortless feeling at home, the concept we're discussing today might spark some ideas for you. Welcome to GA Atelier, the podcast where intentional interior design meets mindful living. I'm your host, Jihan Askar, and I'm here with you on this journey to transform our living spaces into sanctuaries that reflect our unique story, personality, style, and lifestyle while elevating our everyday life at home. So step inside my design workshop and let's design your home together. We're talking about the concept of flow at home, creating flow within your living spaces, a seamless transition between your rooms. A home with good flow will guide you effortlessly from room to room. It creates a sense of connectedness. We are actually intentionally designing a space that only functions efficiently, but also provides an experience of ease and comfort. But creating a sense of flow in your home is not just about functionality and aesthetics. Flow is not only about how seamlessly one space transitions to the next, it's also how each area of your home tells a part of that cohesive design that you have, an uninterrupted visual connection of that story that you're telling through your design. It is ultimately how the spaces and the connection between them will make you feel. And that connection or transition should not be an afterthought. It's something that we, like I said, have to intentionally design or incorporate in the design. So let's discuss some elements that can help with creating that flow. The first one is the cornerstone of a good flow, which is layout. It's really the first step in creating this experience of ease and moving through the places. You just have to evaluate the layout of your home. Consider how you move through it. Is there a natural progression from room to room? This is really just the foundation of creating good flow. And it's very much connected to how you place your furniture. So placement comes next. How you arrange your furniture. Arrange it in a way that allows again for that ease and movement. Don't block pathways. Just putting things that might work in the room, but just not in the place where they are. You can start looking at a room and see, do things need to be moved around a little bit? You can also choose flexible furniture that can be easily rearranged or adapt to different needs. For example, if you have a big gathering, a party, you can easily move things around to accommodate that. Furniture is not just functional, of course we use them, but how and where you place them directs the flow of your space. Think of furniture as guides. It should facilitate the movement. Each piece should invite you to the next space, not block your path. You should also consider the scale of furniture, the proportion of the objects and furniture in each room. This is a subtle detail that can dramatically affect how a space feels. The room, the furniture, and the decor should be in harmony. They should be all appropriately scaled for the size of the room they're in. And from there, you can also start thinking about sightline. So you've seen the layout, your furniture placement, and the scale and size of furniture and items. See where the sightline might be blocked. Put the furniture in a way that opens these lines. Literally, don't block the flow. It creates a sense of openness and spaciousness, even if you have a small space. And this is not just the ability to see or move from one area to the other, but it's also about the visual connections that guide the eye from one space to the other. There is something that you see in one room, and then your eyes are guided maybe to a different space in that room or another room. Another thing to consider that is also related to sightline is how open your space is. And I'm not talking necessarily that you have to have an open floor plan, but just think of ways you can open up a room and connect it to other spaces. That will, of course, give you some sense of ease and flow and movement within that room, because it's not just closed off and literally blocked from other rooms. Which brings us to something that will always help in creating flow and openness in any space, which is decluttering. Again, you don't have to have a minimalistic style. It's just about clutter and things that are not needed in that space. The clutter can disrupt the flow. It creates a physical and visual barrier. And by decluttering, especially in transitional spaces like hallways, which we tend to forget about, you're allowing everything to circulate freely. And I actually did a whole series on decluttering on this podcast. You can go back and listen to the previous episodes if you're interested. I will also add the decluttering guide I created. I will include that in the show notes, so you can get that, and it will hopefully inspire you to tackle clutter in fresh ways. Another thing that we tend to overlook when we think about flow at home is how connected is the indoor space to the outdoor space. This connection creates a sense of expansion and openness. I love connecting the inside of a home to the outside world, making this connection an easy transition. I don't want it to be something that is difficult. It should be seamless from moving from the inside of a home to the outside. And even if you don't have an actual outdoor space where you can go out and sit there, you have an outdoor view through your windows. Natural light and views of the outdoor will create a sense of vitality and connection. And natural light and views of the outdoor will give you a sense of vitality and connection with nature. So don't block these windows and doors. Another more subtle way to create flow at home is consistency. Create a consistent design throughout your home. Use a cohesive color palette, for example, or coordinating materials, furniture that work together. And this doesn't mean uniformity, that everything has to be the same from one room to the other, but just think about how you can blend colors, materials, and styles so that they go together. And there's an ease in how they all work together. For example, I like to use the same flooring material and wall colors to create a unified look in a home. It's an easy and simple way to create that smooth flow from one room to the other. Which brings us to another concept, which is the red thread concept. And it's something, again, we discussed in a previous episode. If you're interested in hearing about it, go back and listen to that. But it's basically about choosing a design element that becomes a common thread throughout your home. Like I said, it could be a color, a texture, and it will appear in multiple rooms. And this repetition of that similar hue or pattern or texture will tie different areas together. And this can be just a subtle repetition. So as you can see, you have a lot of options to play with when you want to create a sense of ease and flow in your home. You can play around with all these elements and see which one you can try today at home. Anyway, I hope this episode inspires you to look at your own space with fresh eyes and find new ways to create flow in your home so you can feel at ease. Just see which idea you want to try and see if it makes a difference in how you feel at home. Thank you for joining my atelier. Don't forget to follow the podcast. A new episode is released every week. And thank you for giving my podcast a star rating. Please consider writing a review as well. It really means a lot. See you in the next episode.